this one right here, so see how it equals 18 right there? The problem is if I subtract 18 from both sides, this is kind of one term right here. And I don't have anything to combine that 18 with, because I'd say there's no like terms that I could combine it with. What this means for me is that I have to see these two binomials right here, these two factors. I need to multiply them, actually make it a trinomial. Okay, so I'm gonna have to distribute here with these values. Okay, so again, I kind of like to show it with this distribution. I'm distributing d into this first set of parentheses, so that's d times d minus 1. And then it's like distributing the 6 into this parentheses. Well, that's positive 6 multiplied by, well, d minus 1, okay? So even though I've done this like this, you know, some people like to show it with the double distribution twice like this. Double rainbows twice. For those of you who remember that viral video, you know, you can weep all you want, but we still got to do this, okay? So distributing first the d times d would be d squared. D times negative 1 would be negative, I'm going to show that as negative 1d. And then distributing the 6, that'd be 6 times d, which is positive 6d. And 6 times negative 1 would be negative 6. Now this still equals 18, right? But before I worry about that 18, I'm going to combine my like terms there in the middle. Negative 1d and 6d to make 5d's. That's positive 5d's. So I now have d squared plus 5d minus 6, and this equals 18. Okay? Now, like I said before, so we made this a trinomial again, and so we now have a constant term here that will allow me to combine it with the 18 right there. If I didn't do that, it would be very messy, okay? So I'm going to get rid of that 18 right there, which really I should have put in black right there. All right. Well, I'm going to get rid of it by zeroing it out, so I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. Again, I now have a like term to line it up with right there. But negative 6 minus 18 would be negative 24. So now I got d squared plus 5d minus 24. And what does this equal? It equals 0. Finally, that's what we wanted, right? So I now have a trinomial. I'm going to look to factor it out. And since my leading coefficient is 1, I'm going to use the rule, right? See if I can find any two factors of negative 24 that would add up to 5. I'm setting this up with the expectation that it will work, although I don't know that it will. Let's find out, okay? So my negative 24 there, let's see if we can split that up into two factors that add up to 5, okay? So, yeah, 1 and 24 won't work. How about 2 and 12? Nah, that's no good. 3 and 8? Yeah, that should work. That should work, okay? Now, I know 3 plus 8 is going to be 11, but this is a negative 24, so one of them has to be negative. Since it's a positive 5, I need the bigger number to be positive, so I'm going to make that negative 3 and positive 8, okay? Which would actually add up to negative 5. Positive 5, just like we want. And so I'm going to put those values into the parentheses there. Let's go back. Not that far back. There we go. So the two values we got, negative 3 and positive 8. All right, hey, that should do it. Nope, it shouldn't. We got more work to do on this. We actually have to solve this, right? So the two factors on this, I got d minus 3. If I could make that d minus 3 equal to 0, then I'd get a true statement. So d minus 3, if I could make that equal to 0, well, just add 3 to both sides. And you get d equals 3. Would that have worked in the original equation? So that'd be 3 plus 6, which is 9. And then 3 minus 1 is 2. 9 times 2 is 18. Yeah, that checks out. All right. It's a good start right there. D would equal 3, but what about the other one there? Well, that's a d plus 8, which I will do in orange. So d plus 8, if I could make that equal to 0, it would make the original equation true. It should anyway, so minus 8 from both sides. And that's going to zero that out, drop my d. D then equals negative 8. All right, let's check this one. Negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. Negative 8 minus 1 is negative 9. Negative 2 times negative 9 is 18. Hey, that's true as well. Okay, it looks like we got a couple winners right here.